Aaron Paquette is one of Canada's premier First Nation artists. He is a painter, writer, keynote speaker, and workshop facilitator. He also wants to run in the upcoming federal election in the Edmonton Manning riding. Aaron joins us in the studio this afternoon. Aaron, tell us about your interest to run in the upcoming federal election under the NDP banner.
Well, I see a lot of problems, see a lot of issues that need to be addressed. When you look at the Conservatives' record when it comes to our freedoms, when it comes to our Indigenous communities, when it comes to the way we approach our environment and the sciences, 70% of Canadians don't like it. And so it's time to step up. And I work with youth a lot, work in communities, and I always urge them, get involved, make your voice heard. And how can I give them that message if I don't do the same thing myself?
Were you a little surprised when the long-serving Conservatives lost power to the NDP here in Alberta?
You know what? I think everyone was surprised. Yeah. Right to the last minute, even though the polls were showing this overwhelming NDP sort of crush, people didn't believe it. The polls also said, it's unlikely that they'll win, the Conservatives will win again, because people didn't even dare to hope anymore. And then, lo and behold, there was enough people there, overwhelming majority of people there, who decided, it's time for a change.
You want the Edmonton Manning seat, as I was just saying. What's the next step for you on this process?
We've got a nomination meeting coming up on July 23rd, and there's a few other people who kind of want to have that candidacy. So we're all sort of nominees going for that. So we've got this vote coming up, and so anyone who lives in Edmonton Manning, who has an NDP membership, by the way, today is the last day they can get it before that meeting.
How can they do that?
They can go to ndp.ca and get a membership, and that gives them the right to choose who their nominee is going to be, and hopefully it's me, because I really want to represent the riding. I really want to represent all the people who are counting on me to be a voice.
What would you help bring to Edmonton?
So there's a lot of things that can be brought to Edmonton through this process. A lot of them are intangibles in the way that it's more like the legal structures of the country. But, specifically, there's things like affordable and intelligent social housing programs that the Conservative government has cut that has really harmed the people, specifically in my area of Edmonton Manning. We've got a lot of new immigrants. We've got a lot of people with low middle income. We've got some Indigenous people, and they're all in the city, first time here, just trying to make things work for them. They're working hard, but it's hard, as you know, in Edmonton to find affordable housing. Yeah. Another thing that a lot of people don't think about, I mentioned those intangibles, and that is, what about your right to feel secure with your own government? They just passed this bill called Bill C-51, and what that does is it allows them to, let me put it this way, CSIS and the RCMP have both said, hey, we don't want this, we don't need it, and it gives them enormous amounts of unchecked power. There's no oversight, and the Canadian Bar Association has said this is way beyond the pale. This is not a bill that even the lawyers want. All right, so if we relate that bill to our Indigenous communities, for example, we stand up pretty consistently across the board to protect our water, protect our land, protect our air, to use resources wisely, right? However, by standing up, we've already been labeled as radicals by this government, as eco-terrorists, and that fits the bill for this bill for people who need to be watched and controlled, right? And so just by caring about your children's future and speaking about it, you're automatically more likely to have all your conversations and online activities monitored. It's a bill that has far-reaching implications, way too much power, and for the government to be introducing it is not only irresponsible, but, it borders, a lot of people have said, it borders on fascism.
Aaron Paquette joining us on the show this afternoon. Aaron, we have you in our studio talking about your bid to become MP for Edmonton Manning. We also have to open the airwaves for other candidates as well, for other parties that may want to come in here and give their speech on why they want to run for the upcoming federal election. Again, you want to run for Edmonton Manning. How can people get a hold of you on this?
Right. So if people want to get hold of me, I've got a presence on Facebook and on Twitter. They just have to type my name in and they'll find it. I've also got a website. It's aaronpaquette.nationbuilder.com, where you can sign up and get the news, that sort of thing. Here's the thing about being a representative for the people in the federal government. Usually you get a representative, they go to Ottawa, and you never see them again. My family lives in Manning. We've lived there for years. It's our home. and we know our neighbors. You know, our kids play sports. And really the key is, for me, if I'm going to represent this community, I want to represent the people. I want to be there with them. I want to talk to them. I want to meet with them and be actually, you know, in the area instead of just disappeared. Like my own personal MP in the area, I've never seen them. I've never seen them at an event or anything like that. You know, they get the power and then off they go. I believe that as an Indigenous person, we understand what it means to have community. We understand what it means to be responsible to each other. And that's sort of what I want to do. You know, I can't be anyone's voice, but I can carry their voice to Ottawa and amplify it.
Aaron Paquette, appreciate you coming in.
Oh, thank you so much.